It is still the hottest topic statewide. Oklahoma and Texas leaving the Big 12 for the SEC, and now state lawmakers at the Texas state capitol are joining in on the discussion. Lawmakers meeting with university leaders and commissioners all afternoon in Austin. We've got team coverage tonight with Austin Walker in Austin and Jack Allen in Waco.
Now we'll check in with Jack in just a few minutes, but first let's head out to Austin. Austin, you've been at the Capitol all day, so what was discussed in this hearing?
Yeah, Naya, so those Baylor representatives were met inside with a bunch of lobbed and pointed questions from those Texas state senators about that big topic, OU and Texas leaving the Big 12 and going to the SEC. Now, a lot of the arguments on both sides were fueled by the same theme, cash. Big 12 and go to the SEC. Reporting live tonight from the state capitol, I'm Austin Walker, 25 News.
Austin, thank you. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick forming a new Senate committee following UT's announcement to leave the Big 12. The select committee will study the athletic and economic impacts other colleges in the state will face if the Big 12 changes. The panel called the Committee on the Future of College Sports in Texas, holding a hearing in Austin today.
The UT System Board of Regents voting unanimously last week to accept an invitation for the school to join the SEC starting in 2025. Both UT and OU had already announced they would not renew their media right contracts with the Big 12 by that year. According to conference bylaws, the schools are required to pay more than $75 million each if they leave the Big 12 before then, early, and they still have to give 18 months notice. However, if the conference dissolves before 2025, the schools may not be bound by that contract. Now, according to The Athletic, if UT and OU join by July 1st, 2025, the SEC may begin playing 9 conference games at football. Sources confirming over the weekend that a 9-game conference schedule is one of the possibilities the league would consider as it works to add these 2 additional teams. How that would work is still open for discussion.
Here in Central Texas, the impact at Baylor could certainly be major.
That's right. 25 Sports anchor Jack Allen is live tonight from McLean Stadium.
Jack, what did we learn from today's hearing?
Well, right now, the impact today, you can see that it seems almost as if the Big 12 and Baylor are in worse shape now than maybe even yesterday, as we learn more figures about what financial impact Texas and Oklahoma's move could have on the Bears. Now, Texas already has nearly double the athletic budget of Baylor. Baylor operates at 48% of Texas's athletic budget. And with Texas and OU leaving, that'll cut Baylor's TV revenue in half, from $28 million a year to $14 million a year. Baylor Athletic Director Mack Rhoades said that that could have tremendous financial impact on their ability to build new athletic buildings, including a new basketball stadium potentially in the future. And so it could be a very detrimental blow to the Baylor Athletic Department.
Jack, you touched on this a bit, but how big of an impact here are we talking about for Baylor if, let's say, they cannot find a new conference home?
Well, yeah, with them looking for a new conference home, the big draw is going to be to find another Power 5 conference, somewhere where they can boost that TV revenue. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, even their new basketball pavilion, which has been in the works for years, could go down the drain. They just might not have enough money to build a project of that size. And so it is going to be imperative in the next few months for them to kind of sort out what their next move is in terms of what conference they want to be in, whether it's the Big 12 adding more teams or finding a new home in a conference like the Pac-12 or even the ACC.
And Jack, you talked about the major changes, for example, that basketball pavilion, but what would be the immediate effects?
Well, Naya, right now, nothing seems to really be changing in the immediate. The 2021 football season is right around the corner. Baylor football is going to kick off later this week in terms of practice. So right now, the impact on the 2021 season is going to be negligible. Baylor's still going to host both Texas and Oklahoma right here in McLean Stadium in what are going to be very intense, very interesting games to watch. Right now, those contracts still not set to expire until 2025. So for the years to come, at the present moment, not much is changing for at least a little while.
All right, Jack, thank you. Well, in other sports news, Simone Biles will return to Olympic competition starting tomorrow. USA Gymnastics